and we'll be good. Good morning, everyone. We're here for Growth Intentions Call for the Idea Lab community. And today we're talking about essentialism and the book by Greg McGowan and how it applies to being an entrepreneur. I know it's helped me significantly over the years. Hey, Casey, thanks for joining. What I want you to think about right now, and we're going to take this learning to the next level because we're all going to talk about it. So I'm going to put you in quick breakout rooms, one-on-one, and the reason for this. So you each can explore what being essential looks like in your business. So many of you, I know your businesses, and I'm going to use David as an example. I know that being essential for him is being focused on getting speaking engagements. So for him, those tasks that lead to speaking engagements really need to be a part of his everyday routine. And what does that look like? How long does it take? And when he's doing those things, doing the essential means also not being distracted by other things. So that's super important. And that's one of the things that's addressed in the book. All right, let me grab this link for you. Now, this summary comes from someplace a little different. I typically share Brian Johnson's summaries, philosopher's notes. This one is coming from short form, and you can get a yearly membership with short form for, I think it's about $200. If you ever want anything from there, please let me know. I have an unlimited membership. They don't allow as many downloads as they used to. You get a certain amount per week for free, but they let you listen and look at as many as you want. So I can always copy and paste info if you're looking to do some deep dive research or deep work time on a topic. And that's something I do pretty routinely when learning something new. Like when I dove into Greg's work, I downloaded all of the notes on his books, plus any articles he's written and any work he did blogging on those topics, and read all of it at one time in a short period and fully immersed myself in his thinking, and I find that when I do that, I learn so much more. So love to chat more about that sometime. I put the link in the chat to the short form on this book in particular. Anyone have any insights about being pressed for time, trying to do too much as an entrepreneur?
I thought that was just being an entrepreneur.
Oh, okay. All right, well, let's go in our quick breakout rooms, and what you're going to discuss, 3 minutes each, about 5-6 minutes in the breakout room. Why is being more intentional and essential in your business more important now than ever before? All right, here we go. Breakout rooms. And there you go. Have fun. I'll see you back. All right, let's hear the magic that you came up with. Who wants to share? Go ahead, David.
Judy and I were talking about, well, like I was mentioning, she was agreeing about the priorities, that when you want to prioritize things. And I ask myself a lot every single day, is this the most important thing you should be working on? And then once you decide that and get it in order, then what, speaking of intentional or essential things you're doing, what are the activities you're doing to support that goal?
Hmm.
As I've joked, it's sort of half true, half joking, but sometimes I'm like organizing paper clips and I go, what the hell's wrong with you? This is not important. Gee, get back on track here. So,
Yeah.
but it's what are the essential items that are going to support that goal you have?
Mhm. Um, Now, does that also include essential events and time? Like you're taking time out of your day, all of you, to be here. I want this hour that you spend to have a motivational effect as well as an informational effect, right? So when you come together and you talk about a topic like this, and David, you and I have had many conversations about motivation and staying on track and being accountable. That's what I want this space to be. And if we're talking about essentialism, that means you have to do that with your time too. You have to say no to more things so that you can keep those blinders on, so to speak. What does that look like for you guys? I did something big with my calendar last week, and that was my big thing for me to be more efficient, meeting new people and my calendar. I had to make some changes. What's that look like for you? What needs to change? Go ahead. You don't have to raise your
So-
hand. We're casual.
Yeah. Sometimes the people have the camera so they can't see it when you're doing it like this.
Mm,
But yeah, for me, I go back and regularly take a, kind of like take inventory of where my time is
mm,
going, maybe quarterly, and see if the stuff that I've been doing is still got the payout that I had intended it to have. And so I'll, if it's not, then maybe some of those things need to go away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really comes back to one of the statements in the book was it comes back to your purpose. What are you trying to accomplish with
Right.
what you're doing? Um, I think it always comes back to that why for me. If I'm showing up somewhere, it has to have that purpose behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you try things, right? You try them
Mm,
for a couple of months because you think it might serve the purpose that you think it's gonna, and it ends up, sometimes it does. This
yeah,
did. Yeah, your
yeah,
community did, but some other things I've tried were like, well, nice people, but that's not it. That's not
right,
gonna take me where I want to be.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the three stages of essentialism in the book are exploring your options. Whether it's cleaning out your closet or, do I like those shoes? Do I not like those shoes? Do I want to donate them or, am I keeping them? Then eliminating the non-essentials and then execute routinely. To me, that means do it every day. Learning to say no was the hardest thing for me. Anybody else have issues with that? Um, I like when people like me. I like when people say, "Oh, that was amazing. It was so great to be with you." And I think, "Oh God, I don't know if that was a good use of my time or not." Or um I think when you're in the online space, rabbit holes happen. You end up down a research or comparisonitis um, hole sometimes, and that can be destructive.
We're
Um,
talking about LinkedIn on our call, in our breakout room.
And how doing sales every day, like making the connections and then continuing that conversation.
Mhm.
And it's not a natural thing for us to do. And so it feels impostery and
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And so I just don't. I fill that time with something else.
Mhm.
And then I don't have new sales or new prospects coming on the calendar. And so then it's a problem. But
Yeah.
we discussed that imposter syndrome. I actually am in another group that's like geared for accounting. And in that group, I said, I'm going to uninstall the Facebook app on my phone because then I don't have that temptation. I
Mhm.
didn't even realize how much time I spent on my phone. And so when I took it off, I still find myself, not so much now because it's been a whole week since I took it off, but when I first did, I would, middle of the afternoon, I'd pick up my phone and go to, like I was going to go to Facebook. I'm like, oh, I can't do that because it's not
Mhm.
there. But I didn't fill it with LinkedIn time, but I found something else to
Interesting.
do. But
So I'm going to say two things to you about that. One, imposter syndrome is only a thing if you're scared of the no or being full of shit.
okay, well, I'm scared of the no. And
Okay.
I'm scared of, I mean, I've had people say things about how I posted, because I used to post like something, hi, my name is Casey, and this is what I do. And it was a very salesy. And so
Yeah.
I had somebody say something to me like, that, hey, you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I post now, like, when I have a connection, after they are a connection, I post a question and say, what made you decide to get into coaching? And then I guess I'm not really sure how to take that from conversational into to schedule on my calendar. I want to work with you. I want to talk to you without sounding salesy. And so since I don't really know how to do that, I just don't.
Okay. So perfect example where practice doing it makes you better doing it. And
yeah, we said
practice.
It doesn't make it easier to do it, but we said that.
But it would if you practice with people you know. So send me a message on LinkedIn that says, hey, Sue, great to connect with you. What made you get started coaching? And see if you can engage me. I'll play.
Okay.
And that the fear of somebody thinking you don't know what you're doing, the fear of the no actually keeps us from making offers, keeps us from selling ourselves or even being of value. So I had a call with a man yesterday that I was introduced to. He developed a software, and that's right up my alley. And as we were talking, I said, well, what made you want to develop this software to help people stay in touch with their contacts? He said, well, I had a software years ago that was like Salesforce, and it got purchased and split in three, and different aspects of the software went to different companies. And I took the best of all of that and put it in something new because I wasn't ready to retire. Like, he's in his 70s. And I was like, wow. So how did you have the time to do that? He said, I didn't do anything else. I sold my company, and that's all I worked on, was creating the best of my other softwares into a new one. And I was like, shit. So if you focus on too many different things, like Facebook, Instagram, Alignable, like there's so many platforms, you have to get one successful first, only do that, and then move on to the new thing. And not be afraid of the no. And Casey, read the part in the summary. The summary is in, actually, let me post it again, because I think you came in after I put it in
I
the
got it.
chat. Oh, you got
I
it?
got it.
Okay. There's a part in there about the no, saying no, and then also feeling better about the no, that it's actually if someone says no to you, you actually can use it as an opportunity to suggest or introduce someone else. Which I thought that was an interesting take on being like me being told, no, I don't need that. Well, awesome. What do you think you do need? So now I can still be of value to the person, even though they said no to my offer, my coaching program, or my mastermind. What do you feel like you need right now? How can I best connect you or be of service to you? And it makes the no feel like you're still in relationship with the person. Anybody else want to say something about that? Judy, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, I just had that happen yesterday. It was, I had 2 offers to have a role in a community, and yours was one that I took. And then I was talking with the other person yesterday, and it was like, I don't think I'm going to have the bandwidth to do 2 of these, but it was like, and then we explored what else could I do to support her community that would, so I totally get it, because you don't want to break the connection, even
Yeah.
if you can't do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that's been huge for me because of being connected to so many other people who have communities, and actually inviting those people to a mastermind group about community. They were like, a couple said no, but the ones who said yes were like, damn, why didn't I think of that? Because so many times we're afraid to collaborate or connect with people who do what we do. And that's an opportunity as well to show your expertise. Casey, I met someone the other day who I'm going to introduce you to after I have a session with him. He has an accounting firm that's basically consults with other accounting firms on their growth, but in a totally different way. And there might be some connection opportunities there. He actually inherited the consulting practice from his father-in-law. And I was like, interesting. Okay, next insight on the book. Less but better. So true essentialism in your business looks like investing your time and energy only into what's essential in order to make your optimum contribution to activities and projects that really matter. So obviously part of that needs to be income producing. You focus on just a few important things. This is why it's important to have only 1 or 2 offers for people. You make significant progress every week, every month, every quarter on those things. You function by design rather than default, which means you plan your shit, you plan your day, you have SOPs, you follow the process. You make tough trade-offs between what you do and don't do. Not always easy. Once you determine what's essential, you remove the obstacles. You say things like, I choose to. Is that essential? what are the trade-offs? What do I need? If I go to Sue's 12 o'clock, what do I need to have done by 11:30 so that I can be there and be fully present, if that's what you want to do. You stop and ask yourself before every invitation if it really matters. Is this going to move me forward? And you say no to everything that's not essential for your business. And then you remove the hurdles. I like that. One of the things that I really love about this concept is digital minimalism is right in there with essentialism. And if you want the notes on that book, I'm happy to share. Part of digital minimalism is having boundaries around your electronic time, your social media time. People think I'm on social media all the time. I'm not. It's all an illusion. So what needs to go for you? Now, I'll fully admit I have a TikTok problem. I have a TikTok problem. I never thought I'd be a 56-year-old woman with a TikTok problem. I don't do TikToks. I don't make them for my business, though I've seen people do that and be very successful. I just like laughing, especially the husband and wife videos where it's somebody dressed up as the husband and then he dresses up as the wife and they, oh my God, it's hilarious. But it's not essential for my business. I had to put a boundary around it. So what's the limit? What's the limit? Yeah, don't add it. Don't add it. My friends and I are sending them
for me.
big problem. Because I realize how happy it makes my brain to laugh at stupid shit. And then I'm sending them to my girlfriends like, oh my God, this is your husband. Oh my God, this is us when we're old. Oh my God. Well, that's addicting. So what are the boundaries around stuff like that for you? Good job, Casey, taking Facebook off your phone. But how can you fill that time with something that's more meaningful for your business? Any takeaways there? What needs to go? What needs to go for you, David?
I would still say probably social media. It's just like anything else. Like I listened to some podcast and describing it as a social media diet. Just that tendency, not whether it's TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. I do actually do a lot of stuff on YouTube, so that's helps my business. But yeah, anything in the social media realm is just addictive, is true, and it's just you just have to wean yourself off it. So curious if for any of you, and this just came to me, there's a difference between posting on social media and responding to people who comment or like, and having a list of people that you engage with intentionally and scrolling. So I teach my clients to have a couple lists of people, prospective clients, people that you're engaging with, like my community experts. Every time they post, I try to say something or at least like and engage with. And then maybe influencers who I comment on their content and I meet new people in the comments, but I never scroll ever. I go to Judy's profile and I see what she posted today and I comment. And then I go to Susan's. What does she have going on? Oh, she's got that event. So she's going to post about that. And I go and I comment and I get off.
Suzanne, can I ask you a question about that, about your strategy?
Yeah.
I sat in on, I think it was Deanna's, one of somebody's LinkedIn presentation, and she was saying how she could, because I know in LinkedIn, you used to be able to add tags to your contacts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pay for your LinkedIn or no?
I do have premium.
So I think that's the difference, right? Because I don't,
It is.
do you know of a way to make groups when you don't have premium? Or
You
to
can't
make
make
tags
group-
like this?
you can't make groups with premium. You have to have Sales Navigator.
I don't, yeah, all right. So I think that's what I would like to have that. I would like to have a way. I mean, I can make links. I could do that. But I would love to just stay in LinkedIn, go to like a tag, and then boom, 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 open everybody's thing and go through it.
Yes.
That's how you do it?
That's Sales Navigator. And what's interesting about it is, so I'm connected to a lot of other coaches. I can do a search through my contacts, pull up all those coaches, and take that URL, put it over in Sales Navigator. It brings all of those people in. I tag them all coach. I can tag the ones who've come to coach conversations and then follow up accordingly.
That's because you have the paid one. All right, I'm gonna look for a
Yeah.
workaround it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now
thank you for
there are other softwares you can do that with. There's some Google plugins that you can do that with. Check out,
I think Walaxy lets you do that.
what's that?
What is it?
Walaxy, WALAXXY, I think is how you spell it. It's not free either. I mean, it's a paid deal, but
Yeah, there's some Google plugins.
I think it's like $26 a month or something.
Um,
It's a
there's-
Google plugin.
yeah, there's a guy I follow who talks all about LinkedIn, and he's got some free guides on his website that are just ridiculous. Like, it's a $5,000 coaching course on his website. David, do you remember why is his name? Let me look and I'll grab it for you, Susan, because he has a guide about keeping track of your LinkedIn connections, either in a CRM or using a plugin. And see, these are the tools that there's tons of free tools out there, and there's ways to do it free that you don't have to spend more money every month on, using yet another thing. And LinkedIn automation is a little sketchy right now. I got flagged and shut down for 24 hours for using an automated thing. I was just trying to connect with more coaches, and it wasn't even that spammy. So they're really cracking down on using those external platforms. So
I think I just figured out what my workaround will probably be, because that's on my list of things to do next week. I think what I'll do is I will make my lists. I will go to everybody's LinkedIn. I'll open that up as tabs. And you know how you can bookmark a whole folder of tabs? I think that's probably what I'll end up doing.
Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to find this LinkedIn guy. All right, what else needs to come off your schedule, or you need to streamline? And we can brainstorm, later, streamline ideas. Maybe we bring back some LinkedIn streamlining ideas. Maybe we bring back some networking streamlining ideas. How about you, Monica?
Well, for me, it's pretty much the same thing Casey said, that we were talking about how for me it's an avoidance and it's a fear, which I was saying was incredibly ironic because that's what I help people to move past, and yet I can't seem to do that for myself. Or maybe it's just a fear of letting go of the fear. Basically, so I will do all these little things that aren't getting me anywhere. They're not essential. Like I'll say, oh, SCORE has a class. I'm going to take this class, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn this. Like I'm doing all these other things. For me, it's not social media. I got off all social media about LinkedIn a few years ago. And it's only been within the last year that I got back on LinkedIn because I would just scroll and I just went cold turkey. I had to do it. I'm much happier without it, to tell you the truth. But that's just me personally. But so that's what I do. And then I'll Google scroll. I'll look through my Google feed and I'll start reading all the headlines. And I'll go through like all the pages of Google and just read all the headlines. And then I'll go do something else. I'll be like, ooh, what's the headline now? And it's so rare that I actually open a story. I just want to read the headline.
Oh, now see, there's a newspaper that I get every day via email that is literally the top stories from around the world in the topics I want to have, like technology, coaching, social media, and it's literally the top trending stories. I very rarely share them like on social media, but it's good for me to know like what's happening. And then because it comes to my email, I don't go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. I even wrote that down as one of the things I need to get rid of is the Google scrolling, because that's where I scroll.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will probably not be doing that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But the newspaper thing, there's a couple different ones. And you could just do a Google search for like online newsletter. And you can get it sent to you weekly or daily. And I like that because it keeps me from looking. Keeps me a little bit more focused. I'm looking for my LinkedIn guides guy to share with
Now on LinkedIn, when I scroll at 2:00 in the morning, I will scroll to someone's page or like someone's post, and then I'll take a picture of that on my phone, and that's how I add to my list. Because I don't have my list with me at 2:00 in the morning when I'm laying in bed and can't sleep. And so I'll take a picture and I'll take, 4 or 5 of them or 6 of them, and then I add them to my list. So my thought was I need to send a message to them, which that's the part I haven't done yet. And so then I can have a conversation with them.
Makes sense.
Then I get to somebody that I'm like, oh, I think they're far enough along that I can't help them. And then I talk myself out of taking the picture of theirs.
Yeah. All right. So Darren Gibb is one of my connections. He helps coaches and solopreneurs use storytelling to attract people on LinkedIn. But he just did an incredible 5-day challenge about LinkedIn. It was wonderful. And he also talks about TikTok and that kind of stuff. So Darren Gibb is his name, and you can search through my connections. Justin Welch. Yep, Justin Welch. I'm going to grab his website. Now, what I like about this guy, he works a very limited schedule. He talks all about monetizing your LinkedIn in less than an hour a day. Here's his profile. In his profile, you can go right to his website, and he has all these guides on his website to download. His course is the LinkedIn operating system. On his website, it's $297. And we are in conversation right now to have that course available to the Idea Lab for $150. And when I tell you, I've taken $5,000 courses with people, and they're not as valuable as his free guides from his website. Like, truly, he literally gives everything away for free. In the course, goes into a little bit more of the detail and the storytelling and the technology stack that he uses to make everything happen. And the reason he does that is because he has an agency that does it for you. So his mission is to get you successful doing it yourself. And then you're so busy, you need to hire his agency to do it for you. And he says all the time, give it all away. Give it all away for free, and people will hire you to implement, hire you to be accountable, and hire you to spend time with you and get connected to your people. Okay, so what do you guys want to commit to in our last 10 minutes here? And in case you haven't been to one of my meetings recently, we now finish 3 minutes early, so you can get a little break before your next meeting. What should we commit to saying no to within the next week, before I see you again? What needs to go? And you know immediately what came to your mind the second I said that. Susan's smirking.
Well, because you know what? I had this decision to make this week. Do I continue my business? I love what I do. What do I love about it? I love helping people. But you know what I really love is being in conversation with people like you all. And so I spend time, right? Like I'll go to this group and that group and that group, right? Like it's so much more interesting to me to speak with entrepreneurs than to go out to lunch with a bunch of girlfriends. I'm sorry, my friends are nice, but the conversations aren't as interesting.
Right.
It always comes down to talking about people, right? And gossiping, where here we're talking about making changes. So I don't know, like, is that what I let go? Letting go of like all these awesome networking opportunities? I'll have to think about that.
Or create your own, which I think you're in the process of doing, right? And if that's a driver for me too. That's probably why we were attracted to each other in the first place, right? So maybe it's creating that for yourself so that when you go to those other groups, the people who resonate with that, you attract and bring to your community or your mastermind.
Thank you.
And you're still doing your business.
That's right.
Yeah. David, what needs to go?
I think getting rid of wasted conversations. And I think that when we think about how often we use Zoom, and Suzanne, you and I had already talked about this, but it's just really interesting to me. In the first 15 to 30 seconds, you know if you like the person or not. So really follow that intuition more. And I don't want to be a knucklehead or a jerk or something, but I want to do a fine job of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just messed up. I got to go, but it's great to see you. It's like, because some people just, and I've told you about these people that I know I talk a lot and I talk fast, but I got people that talk so much and never listen that I go, why my life is wasting away listening to this person. And I think I just had a doctor's appointment I forgot about. So, but really being judicious with your, very, sort of treasure your time a lot more, I guess is my best way to put it.
Well, I told you about what I did with my calendar. And, maybe it's something similar for you because of the volume of people that are attracted to you and what you're doing and the amount of conversations and the fact that you're, speaking in front of large groups. What happens if you go to speak to a group of 100, 200 people? You can't have one-on-ones with all of those people to filter out who's a client, who's not, who's a community member. So make that decision and just say, I'm going to do an event once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month for new connections to come to and hear about David George Brooke and what I do and my story, and they'll share their story. And if there's one person on the call, cool, lucky person. If there's 10 or 20, awesome. The cream of the crop is going to rise to the top and they're going to be your people.
Great.
One event per month. And then once that starts to have more than 10 or 20 people, you go to 2 and then 3. And then your discovery call, which is 15 minutes, has an application to work with you. And then you know if those 15-minute calls are on your calendar, it's because that person wants to become a client and pay you. Not, oh, I want to meet you and find out who you can introduce me to or what you have, or I want the worst ones of all, the ones that put schedule on your calendar to sell you something. Stop.
Judy, your laugh, it happens.
I can't even make it up. I can't. But it's happened. And I've sat there for way too long listening to a sales pitch and said, wow, that's interesting. And he said, I put my PayPal in the chat. It's $8,000. And I was like, I didn't say yes. I said the way you're handling this call is interesting. So we got to filter out those people. That'll help your calendar a lot. Okay, and Casey, I have a tip for you. I'm going to grab the link because I was just using it. Giving away my secrets here. Get a free account with this software. It's brand new. It's in beta. And you can put any statement in. I'll show you because it's just ridiculous. I just did my LinkedIn post for today. Here's how I did it. I typed in creating clients for your coaching practice doesn't have to be hard. And the software wrote this.
Oh my goodness. That's a free app.
Mm-hmm. So you can use this for headlines. You can use it for, it's only in beta mode right now. There's going to be more features being added, but if you get a free account now, you won't pay as much later when they upgrade it. So as you have a conversation with the software, now I didn't use all of this in my post. I took off the get certified, took off a little bit down here, added my call to action. Now I need to create an email that is for my entrepreneur accelerator. And I'm going to write, oh, and be easy with the right content creation. And let's see what it says. Perfect. So that's going to be my email. And I'll probably ask it a few more questions or make a few more statements about my program and see what it comes up with. And I'll take out the SEO best practices and I'll add, something about my program. Pretty cool, right?
Very cool.
So listen, that can take all of your guesswork out of posting on LinkedIn. You just have to make sure you add a call to action at the end and 5 hashtags. No more awkward post excuses on LinkedIn, Casey.
It's not the post that I have the problem with. It's the conversation in Messenger.
Okay, well, just pretend you're at a cocktail party. What would you say?
I don't go to cocktail parties. I'm an accountant.
You're funny. But just pretend you're talking to another human across the counter at the donut shop. What would you say?
I usually say, like, how's your kids? And I connect with them somehow.
Yeah. It's no different on social media. look at their profile, find something that resonates with you. Like, do they have one of my hobbies? Have they read a book I read? Is their podcast about something I like? And then build from there.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to go to a sales call.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay. Let me know how you make out. All right, guys, let's wrap up. Major takeaway from today. Time to make a not to-do list.
Time to focus on the essentials. Yeah, I needed that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Definitely a nice redirect. I appreciate it.
Nice. All right. Awesome. How about you, Susan?
Somebody posted in my, well, I don't know, I'm still figuring out my thing, but I'll share this. Somebody posted in my Rise Above Noise Facebook group this week, and I wrote it down and pasted it so I could see it. It says, take everything off your calendar and make things fight to get back on.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Ooh. I like that.
Yeah. I will say,